Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, I want to try to overcome the challenges of spaceflight without relying on sci-fi. And what I mean by that is Trailmakers has given us a very handy tool called the quantum rudder, which I have on the back of this vehicle here. And that allows you to kind of fly in arcade-style space where when your vehicle turns and changes its orientation in space, it kind of just flows into that direction as if it's in an atmosphere catching wind and catching aerodynamic resistance. But you can see when I just do I can just kind of carve back and forth. I can roll and just pitch, and I just kind of go like just easily redirected in the direction I'm facing. But without the quantum rudders, we are now victims of realistic space. And oh boy, first of all, my center of mass is all not right. So I'm not even like aligning that well. So now I'm gonna try to like turn, and then let's give ourselves some, okay. You can already see how much worse this is. It's like actually terrible. Here, let me switch to a different seat that has a better center of mass. Okay, here we go. Now we no longer flip, but now watch what happens when I try to turn. You can see redirecting doesn't really work quite as easily. So now I'm going in this direction. Let's go ahead and turn that way. Okay, it's not, okay, see, it's just, it doesn't work out that well. So my goal is to try to simulate a quantum rudder without using a quantum rudder in space. My way of doing this is going to be very energy inefficient, but I'm going to use a combination of speed sensors and thrusters to create an artificial drag in any direction of movement that isn't where I'm facing. So the orientation of my nose and the direction of my speed will determine what thrusters get activated to try to regulate any drift that happens. And I don't think this is going to be difficult to accomplish in theory. I've actually done something similar many years ago in main assembly, but I think it's actually going to be way easier to program up in Trailmakers. All right, so the other challenge to this with the lack of an atmosphere is going to be center of mass and thrust are going to be very particular with each other. So unfortunately, the center of mass of this does not match up with the center of thrust that is even possible with this. It's either too high or too low. We can always just make adjustments by adding stuff like this to lower the center of mass, and that's a little bit closer. And then we could do like this, and it's a little bit closer, but we're just gonna have to be aware of that as we build this ship out. All right, so the most important part in all of this is going to be speed sensors. So I'm essentially going to need a speed sensor in every direction that is not forward. So if any of these speed sensors detect a speed above 0, they are going to trigger a thruster to push us in the opposite direction. So this is the downward speed sensor. Then over here will be an upward speed sensor. And then we need a sideways speed sensor, and then a speed sensor on the other side. So there's our 4 directions. And I guess like backwards isn't really going to be an issue, I don't think. All right, so we're not only going to have to line up our center of mass with our forward thrust, but all of these sideways thrusts, they're going to have to align with the center of mass in this direction. And then the up and down thrust is also going to have to align with the center of mass. So I'm not going to be able to put any downwards thrusts on top of this right here. So I'm going to need to move my center of mass back quite a bit. So weight blocks are going to be a big help here. Look at that, already center of mass way back here. All right, so now I got a center of mass almost right there. I'm gonna try not to make this build too complicated. The bigger I build this, the more the difficulty I'm probably gonna have with it. So let's just try to add all of our axes of thrust right here. I think 3 thrusters per side is gonna be okay. All right, so now this speed sensor is pointing to the left, which means it's gonna detect drift to the left, which basically means I want it to trigger these 3. This one looks like it is pointing up. So pretty much you want it to trigger the ones in the direction that it's pointing. That makes it pretty easy to read. All right, this one triggers these 3. And then where's the down? Here's the down one. The down one triggers these 3. I think that's essentially the programming I'm looking for. Now I need some forwards thrust. So I think I'm gonna have to try to do some fancy design elements or something to try to build out to a place where I can put thrust on it, but then I need to readjust my center. Every single time I add something, I've got to readjust my center of mass to make sure it stays there. I need it here for these thrusters. I just realized I forgot to put some controls in here. I mean, seat controls are one thing, but I'm actually going to disable the seat controls so they don't interfere with my gyros. All right, I think this is looking good. I think I'm kind of ready for a maiden voyage here. So, I got all my controls. You can see the thrusters are automatically, they're activating already. I'm looking pretty good. Why am I'm moving a little bit? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. All right, I'm gonna press space to go forward. Here we go. We're moving forward, picking up some speed. All right, now I'm gonna turn this way. And... okay, hold on. Okay. It's not... okay, it's not as good as a quantum rudder right now. I think it depends on your speed. It's really hard without a good point of reference. You know what? Maybe the asteroid field would be a good point of reference. But here, I'll just turn this way. And then you can see it redirects me. And now I'm going straight in this direction. Without a quantum rudder. That would... yeah, without a quantum rudder, normally, you just float. All right, here's what we need to do. We need to actually A/B test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do the same exact flight path with... and then I'm going to deactivate the thrusters and see how it compares. All right, here we go. So I'm just gonna go really, really close to the ground here so we can see. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of a turn. Oh, look, you can really see it on like the left and right turning. Wow, I'm just gonna, yeah, just go in a circle like this. Look at that. And then now I'm just going like straight in this direction. And then I'll go ahead and turn in this direction here. All right, yeah, let's do like a zigzag. Here we go. This is a good indicator. Let's do a zigzag. All right, and then all right, now I'm just gonna choose the course correction thrusters and put their power down to nothing. All right, now the thrusters are off, and I'm gonna try the zigzag again. Ready? Okay, see? I'm not going in the direction I'm facing. Let's try to zigzag this way now. And we zigzag. All right, let's turn around. Oh my, this is already like so much more out of control. Look at how out of control this is. I'm gonna try to zigzag my pathway back now. All right, ready? I just need to not move as fast. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, all right, now zigzag left. I have to give it like all my thrust. See, look, it's not working. It's not working. Ah! All right, now everything is back. It is back to full power. And now look at the difference. Just look at that difference. It's so much easier to just navigate through all this stuff. And then like turning around. Look at this. Yeah, at first I wasn't sure if it felt that great, but when you do a direct comparison, like, it's so much easier to control. Oh, I still hit the thing, but not as hard. All right, it still doesn't feel quite as strong as a quantum rudder. The only thing that you can really do about that is to add more thrust, I suppose. All right, I've now got double the thrust, double the fun. Let's see how it feels. It is starting to feel a little bit better. I think I need more forward thrust now because I'm just that much more massive. And the kind of the ironic thing is the more thrust I add, the more mass I add, which also makes it harder for the thrust to do the thing. But I do feel pretty under control with this. I just need some more forward thrust, which I can add some right here. All right, I'm gonna add another function to this, which is gonna require another speed sensor. This speed sensor is going to be facing forwards. And this is actually going to be a natural brake because I noticed that when I'm not pressing forwards, I will just keep kind of going and I didn't have a brake. But if you were in an atmosphere with drag, which is what determines our ability to go where the nose is pointing, you would also slow down when you're not applying thrust just because the drag in the atmosphere. So I've added some front thrusters facing backwards, and these are essentially going to be auto brakers. So as soon as I start going forward, oh, but there should be some logic that also prevents them from activating when I'm trying to go forward. So they're not going to prevent me from gaining speed. All right, so I got everything really compacted here. It's actually kind of hard to navigate. But somewhere over here, I put an AND gate. There's the AND gate. So this AND gate is going to control the backwards thrusters. Now this AND gate is only going to activate if this speed sensor, I can't even tell what's what. If this speed sensor is active, that, I think that's the AND gate, that activates. And if this OR gate is active, so both of these have to be active. Oh wait, I need a NOR gate because I need it to be active when this is not active. All right, so I think that I got to use an XOR gate combined with a altitude sensor. So the XOR gate will output only if a single input is not 0. So if the altitude sensor is always on, and then this gate, which is going to be hooked up to my thrust button, goes into the XOR gate, which means when I press it, it'll turn it off. All right, so now you can see when I'm pressing space to go forward, you can see those front thrusters aren't doing anything. Then when I release space, now you can see it's a little subtle thing there, but they're activating. So this is going to be braking me until I get down to 0 miles per hour. So watch that little flare of thrust. It should disappear once we reach 0. And here we go, 0. And there you go. Little flare of thrust is gone. And then when I press space to go forward just a little bit and release it, it's back. And when I hold space, you can see it is not on. So it is not inhibiting us. So it's just basically like a natural little drag, as if you were rolling across, you know, the ground. You're gonna slowly slow down. And what I could do is also add a control into these, so I can manually brake and reverse if I wanted to. So now I can hold it. We go down to 0. If I hold it down, we can go backwards. There we go. And then I can easily counter that with my forward thrust. I have a lot of forward thrust. I don't really have that much backwards thrust. All right, let's see if I can navigate this thing into here. I do think I need a little bit stronger of a brake, to be honest, because we slow down very, very slowly. But actually, this is feeling pretty nice. Here we go. Just give it a little bit of thrust. And let's see how easy it is to... Oh, I forgot there's gravity in here. Dang it. This thing is not built for gravity. It is built for 0 atmosphere. All right, but I mean, we can see the taxiing capabilities here. And I like how now we can actually see it slows itself down and stops perfectly. Let's try first person. See how this feels. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do I'm gonna pitch down and do like a loop around this thing. Here we go. It'll be easier if I can see above like this. Yeah. There we go. Just gonna go a little bit this way. And go up and around this way. Felt a little bit drifty there. And then I'm here. And then I can just roll and navigate over this way. Super easy. You know what? Let's try that same exact thing I just did. And we'll turn off all of the corrective thrusters. All right, no more corrective thrusters. Let's see if I can do this. Here we go. Hold on. All right, now I just gotta do this. You can hear the difference with the thrust. Oh my goodness! Like, look at where I have to face in order to redirect myself. I'm doing it. It's like, it doesn't feel nice. Now I gotta face like just complete opposite directions. All right, now let's get back down to the surface. Okay, don't know. Oh, wait, where am I? Oh, ow. Okay, all right, I don't like it. Turn everything back on, please. Oh, yes, this is so much better. The difference is like, it's incredible. Like, just look at how much more natural that feels. That's great. And navigate right back over the land here. And look at that. No crashing. And it took so much less time, too. So much less effort. So, I'm gonna be honest, that was actually not a hard challenge. That was a pretty easy thing to do, and if you've ever wanted to know how to do it yourself, if you didn't already know that, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Oh man, we can get some serious speed with this thing. Technically, we can get all the speed with this thing if I just hold the thrust open, because we're not having any brakes or any air resistance at all. All right, well, limitations of space overcome without magic. If you guys have any other ideas you'd like to see me try out on the channel, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.